In this video, I'm going to be ranking all these Nike Dunks from best to trash. And I know I'm going to make some people mad. So obviously, you know, I make sneakers from scratch, right? And this is my favorite pair that I have in my collection. This is my favorite. Of course, they're Nike Dunks. So I guess you could say I'm a Nike Dunk connoisseur. So how the ranking is going to be is top tier is S all the way down to A, B, C, D, and then F, obviously, for the worst one. So let's get right into it. The blue Lobsters, I absolutely love these sneakers. I've always been a big fan of the Lobsters. I'm going to put that at A, not at S tier, because I got the S tier is going to be more of like shoes that got me into sneakers, as well as ones that I just really love. So the second is called Pigeons Mondrian. I'm gonna put these at D just because I don't know anything about these shoes. I know about them and I've seen them only like once or twice in my life, but I have no idea about them. So I'm gonna put them in G or D just because F is for fail, and I don't think they're a fail because I don't know much about them. Now on to the purple Lobsters. A little backstory about this sneaker, right? This is a sneaker that got me into sneakers. This was my first love. The first sneaker I saw and I was like, oh my gosh, that is the coolest shoe I've ever seen. Obviously, we got to put this up in S tier just because personally, that's my favorite shoe I've ever seen. It's still my favorite shoe to this day. After, you know, there are a couple other Dunks, but that is my favorite shoe of all time. And also, I was always a big Dunk fan before, you know, it got all this hype and Nike is now making Dunks all the time. I was always on the Dunk train. Dunks are what got me into sneakers, so that's definitely my favorite sneaker. Now next is the Huff tie-dye. I have no idea where to put this just because I'm not a big fan of high tops as well as mid tops for Dunks. I'm gonna put it at C just because I think they're cool, but I wouldn't pull them off. I never would get them. Now, if you want to give them to me, hook your boy up, hit me up. I'll take any shoe for free, right? But for this one, you know, I'm not a big fan of it, but also it's not ugly, so it's not a D or an F. So I'm just gonna put it at C because I'd wear it, but I wouldn't cop it. Next we got are the White Widows. I'm not a fan of these either just because they're mids, and that is why it's going to be as simple as going to D. Not only can I not really pull it off because I really like wearing Dunks with shorts. Now sometimes I will wear them with long pants, right? But for these, I cannot pull these off, as well as I'm just not a big fan of the mids. Now we got the reverse Skunks, and people love these sneakers. If I'm correct, there's only 420 pairs. These are the 420 sneakers if you don't know anything about them, and they're also numbered on the back heel. Now I think this is a really cool shoe. I really love the colors and the textures. That's why I'm a big fan. Not so much because of it being a high top, because I still can't pull off the high top. But for this one, you know, maybe I will go A, maybe I will go B, and I will put it at B just because I can't really pull them off. Next are the good old Heinekens. I really love these shoes. I always thought they were really cool, especially with just the colorway that they're going with. And, you know, I gotta say it again, the midsole. I love that the midsole is a certain color. I think that pops and it really stands out. That being said, I'm gonna definitely put these up at A just because the colorway, the collaboration, and then also the midsole. I love it. I think it's a perfect shoe. Now, I can't really pull off green, but if you could pull off green, you definitely gotta have this shoe. Next are the yellow diamonds. Now, I think this is a very cool shoe as well. Am I a big fan of it as other shoes? Not that really. There is a lot of hype around it, and I haven't really seen many people wear these out in public, but I think it's a very cool shoe. That being said, this is definitely going to be a B tier. Now, the only reason why it's pretty much a B tier for me is because of Velcro Nike sign. If it didn't have that, I'd probably have it at C or even lower. I'm not too big of a fan of this sneaker, but I do think it's very cool. Now, the next shoe is a StrangeLove, and I'm a big fan of these shoes. I almost copped them. I've never really bought a resale shoe, so that would have been the first pair that I would have copped, but then at the last second I was like, nah, I'm just gonna make a pair of sneakers. But these I really love. I love the colorway just because it stands out, and I can't really pull off pink and red, but for this one with the texture, I think the silk, if you want to call it that, I really love it, especially the bottom sole too. The bottom sole looks really cool. It's a transparent one, but also there's a picture coming through with it. That being said, these are also, I think, you know, I really want to put them in S just because this is a pair that I would cop. I would cop this and the purples. I would cop these over the Heinekens and the blue Lobsters. But, you know, I'm gonna keep it at A. I'm gonna keep it at A. S is just gonna be for the best of the best. So the next shoe is gonna be the Orange Supreme sneakers. I think they're cool, but that's about it. I don't care much for the stars on the side as well as the orange. Like, I got, you know, Syracuse, cool, right? Woo, orange. But, you know, I'm not too much of a fan of orange. That being said, I'm gonna have to put them at either D, or I'll keep them at D, not so much F right now. We'll wait for F later, but for right now, I'm not a bit, you know, no, I'm gonna put them in F. I'm just not a big fan of these, especially them being high top. Now I'll take them, I guess, you know, if someone wants bigger than me, but now we got the green lobsters. Lobsters are my favorite sneakers ever. I love them all. And, you know, now we're at the green lobsters. Green lobsters, they're so cool. I love all the lobsters, and if I had my way, I would have them all up at S, but we got to make it fair and possible, right? We can't be biased with any of this stuff. But that being said, I love the lobsters. I love all these lobsters. I love how it's a black midsole with a green bottom. I think it's so cool, but I'm still gonna keep them at A, and I'm gonna put them in front of the Heinekens. Now I like the blue ones better than the green, because I'm pretty sure it's really hard to get a pair of blue dunks in size 13. So if you got a pair, hit your boy up. Next are the Jedis. Now this is gonna be like the second or third shoe that I really loved, and I actually found these when going into like nerding out on Star Wars on the internet. Now if you don't know me much, I'm the biggest nerd for Star Wars. I read all the comics, I read all the books. I'm a big huge nerd for that, Disney and Marvel. All my stuff in there are all Star Wars toys. I got all Star Wars over there. I got all Star Wars. I literally have a big box of Star Wars toys that I get. I'll show you later. I'll take some pictures and some and like overlay, right? Some B-roll. But I'm the biggest Star Wars fan. So whenever I learned that, you know, the name of these are the Jedis, I fell in love with them. I absolutely love them. Shout out to George Lucas. Shout out to Lucasfilm. Shout out to everybody at Lucasfilm, at Star Wars. This is it has to be an S for me. It has to be an S for me. I love the contrast in the stitch. I showed the shoes earlier, right? That's why I got the inspiration for the neon thread stitching on these, because this is a, you know, a dark green with a neon thread. It had inspiration for me on those sneakers, just because I love the sneaker so much. And, you know, I'm gonna say it for the 1000th time already, the midsole is so awesome. You got the contrasting brown that applies, you know, with the Nike sign. I love it. It is such, I can't speak enough about it. Star Wars, if you're watching this, hook your boy up. But this is, I love this shoe. It's just as good as the purple dunks. Next, we got the Londons. Very simple, very nice. I wish I had a pair of these midsoles, just because all these midsoles, right? I wish I had all these sneakers just to tear apart to use the midsoles, because the colors are so awesome. That being said, this sneaker, you know, I don't know where to put it. I could put it, you know, a C, B. It's definitely not an A. Now, I love the contrast of the grays. I love the simplicity, and I love also that it's a suede. I would either keep it at B or C. C though, I like C more, just because that it is a low top and it is, you know, contrasting grays, which is, you know, very subtle and very neutral. So I'll keep it at B. I'm a big fan of the sneaker. Also, it doesn't show on screen, but it has like a little bit of like a curly thing on the back heel that is like blue embroidery. So it's a very nice subtle touch, and I really like it. Next are the Pigeons, and this is when I first was learning about sneakers. After I saw, you know, the purple dunk, I got into sneakers. I want to learn more about sneakers, right? So what was the first story I learned about to get into sneakers? I learned about the story about the Pigeons out in New York. If you do not know about that, you got to read up on about that. That's pretty much, you know, where sneaker kind of culture came, as long as, you know, the hype stuff, right? And, you know, a lot of people might say, oh, other stuff happened earlier, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I consider the Pigeons being, you know, the biggest story, having to sneak kids out of the back in order to take their sneakers home. I really love it. And also too, right, I make sneakers. I want to learn about the history of sneakers. I want to learn all about shoes. And this was one of the first stories I learned about. So that being said, I'll put at A. Now, the pair that I do like more than this that is not on the list are the all black Pigeons. I love the all black Pigeons. Those aren't as hyped and as much priced as the gray Pigeons, but dude, I love the all black Pigeons with the, it's like the red orange bottom. I'm putting this down at B. I'm putting this down at B because I like the black ones a lot more. and I just think it's a really cool, subtle shoe. That is gonna be a B, and everyone right now is, the Pigeons, you can't, right? No, that's gonna go at B. It's got B, it's a good shoe. It's a good shoe at B. Next are the high top, high Skunks. These are the Skunks. It's a cool shoe. That's about it. I would steal them for the midsoles, I would steal them for the soles, and I would rip the upper part in a second. You give these to me, and I'm ripping the upper off, okay? I'll give it a, do I give it a C or a D? C or a D? I'm gonna go D. I don't care about this shoe. I think it's cool, and I'd cop a pair, but I'd probably rip it up and make a different upper. Great shoe though. Now the next are the Trails. I don't know much about these shoes. All that I know is that they're always really expensive and they're brown and white. They kind of look like the Travis Scott. I'm just gonna keep them at C because I don't care much for them, but I love the colorway. It's very simple, very tasteful. Next that we got are the Walking the Dog. You know, it's a cool shoe. The only reason why I would like this sneaker though are because of the soles again, right? Now they got like a cool stain on the bottom, but that's pretty much it when it comes to sneaker. And as you can tell, you know, me making sneakers, when I go and look at sneakers, I look at the sole sometimes. I don't even look at the upper until I look at the sole. We got the Walking the Dog, right? I would love to use these soles for a custom, but I'm not a big fan of them. I don't care much about them. That being said, it's gonna go in the good old D. I think it's a cool shoe. I'll cop it if someone gets it for me, but I don't really care much about the sneaker. Cool shoe though, love the sole, but that's about it. So the next sneaker is gonna be the Red Supremes. And hey, cool shoe, it's red and white. It has cool stars on it, but these shoes, I'm not a fan of these shoes at all. You already know where it's gonna go. It's gonna go in F. It's a cool shoe, and that's about it. That's all I gotta say about it. It's a cool shoe. I'm sure if you have them, you love them. I care less, but it's a very cool shoe. So next are going to be the yellow Lobsters. I'm pretty sure I saw a video the other day, and someone bought like a new pair. I'm pretty sure it was on Urban Necessities, and they sold it for either $20,000 or $30,000. I totally forget, but I'm pretty sure it was a size 13. Of course, I'm a size 13, and he had all size 13s of all these dunks that I wish I wanted. As you can tell, I know about a lot of dunks because I have this really cool book that I like to study the dunks. I like to study the colorways, the look of them. They're very cool, right? And I'd put them at S because I definitely want them, but these are not realistic. I'm sure I'll never have a pair unless someone wants to buy them for me. So I'm gonna keep them at A. Also, cop some merch. It really helps keep the lights on here at the shop. Go cop yourself some. It's down on my website, link in the description. Next are the Stussy cherries. I really love this colorway. The pink, the white, the brown. It's so simple, yet it looks so nice, so classy. You know, this is definitely like a pair of dunks that you wear with long pants, but I love the colorway. I'm definitely going to steal it in the future. It's just really hard to get, you know, a brown and white sole. That being said, it's going to be a B. It's something that I would cop just because it's such a clean shoe and I really love the colorway, but that's about it. It's not, you know, it's not an A, but it's definitely a B just because I think it's such a clean shoe. Next are the white cements. You know, if you don't know about these are some Supremes. I really like them. I think they're a very cool sneaker, especially with the cement on it, right? You got these ones, then also down below we have another pair of the black ones, and then you also have a pair of red ones. So they all got the elephant print, but it's just the middle section, the mid section, and the back heel and the toe that are different colors. That being said, I really like the shoe, but it's just a C tier. You know, it's cool, but that's about it. You know, I'm not too hyped over them, even though they're very cool. Next sneaker has to be the white diamonds. You know, it's pretty much going to be the same thing as the yellow ones. I think it's cool. You know, they got the Velcro going on, but that's about it. right? It's a diamond shoe. It's very cool, very whatever, but this is definitely a C. Like, I think it's cool, but I'm not, you know, I'm not chasing about it. I don't care much about the shoe. Next are going to be the black cements. I think they're a pretty cool shoe. I love the cement colorway, but you know, it's the same thing as the white cements. It's a C tier shoe. It's very cool. I'm sure it's very hype for some people. Some people really like it, especially the history behind it, but it's just a C tier for me. Now we got the What the Dunks, and this is gonna be the third pair that got me into sneakers. These are all, I'm gonna put it up in S. You already know the deal. These are the three, if you could tell right now, these are the three sneakers that I love and that I'll cop over any other sneaker pretty much out there, right? These are the three sneakers that you know, initially got me into making shoes, making sneakers. You know, What the is such an awesome sneaker. Jedi, purple lobsters, but the What the, I love the What the because all the panels are different. They have inspiration from all different shoes. I love just being a you know, having a sneaker that stands out. Nothing touches it, you know, you got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I love it. It's crazy. It doesn't go with anything. That's why I love it. And if you want to make a shoe just like this, join my shoemaking course. Link down in the description. I teach you from start to finish how to make your own Jordan 1 from scratch, but you can apply those principles into any other sneaker, including a Jordan 1. And you will, guess what? You'll have the whole course for a full-on year, 365 days. That's a long time to have all that information. I teach you from start to finish, all the secret tips and tricks, as well as having all the links to all the products that I use. So join the shoemaking course today, link down in the description, and let's get to the next pair. And of course, it has to be the Travis Scott's, one of the most hype sneakers in the past couple years, just because, you know, all the hype around Travis Scott. People love him. People love the sneakers. Now, besides, you know, the current thing that just happened, people love these shoes, and I think it's a very cool sneaker just because all the tearaway and stuff, you could cut the materials and it looks a little bit different. But that being said, you know, I would put it at A, but I think I'm going to put it at B. I'm going to put it at B because even though I love the shoe, I would do it in different colorways with a bandana. You know, I'd still love the bandana, but I will do it in a different colorway. So next we got the Uncles, and you know, as far as I know from talking to a bunch of sneakerheads, people love this sneaker. People really like this shoe, especially the history behind it. I think it's a cool shoe, but I don't care much about it. I love the colors though. I love pink, I love black, and I love white. I think, you know, they all go great together. I'm a big fan of the sole, right? You got a black midsole and then a white bottom sole. I love it. But, you know, I don't care much about it, and that being said, oh, I'm gonna have so many people pissed off at me. It's a D. It's a D. It's cool. It's whatever, but it's just like, throw that D. Now, as you can see, right, besides the 420s and the tie-dyes, they are all in the D section. And obviously, we got these bad boys inspired by a famous painter, artist. It was an artist, the dude's name. I don't know much about those, but we're on to the ugly sweater samples. Now, I do like this pair, but the only reason why I like this pair is because I'm a big fan of Christmas. I love Christmas. I love giving people a bunch of gifts. I love giving people a bunch of gifts. Sometimes I give too many gifts. But that being said, you know, we got up here. Now, first of all, we got to think about this. Am I gonna cop them? No, I'm not gonna cop them. But I love them. They have a really, you know, outlandish print to them. I love the Dunks because they go with the patterns. They don't care what's going on. They don't care what's going on at all. So that being said, it has to get the B, because even though it's not C or D, I just love the pattern to it. It's a sneaker that I can't see myself wearing, but I want it right there. Like, I want it right there in my office in every single video. It's like one of those type of sneakers, because I love everything that's going on, because there's so much going on. It's kind of like the Dunks. There's so much going on that I love it, but it doesn't really go well together, okay? You know? Now this next sneaker, I'm pretty sure every single sneakerhead loves. The Freddy Kruegers, which, you know, gave me the inspiration to make these ones, which are, these are probably my favorite Jordans that I wear every single day. I wear these Jordans every single day, and I love them. Python skin, Freddy Krueger, inspired by these dunks. Now, the thing about these dunks is that the price is just ridiculous for these dunks. First of all, I would wear this is the shoe that I would wear every single day just because I love beating shoes up and actually using them. I'm a big fan of use your sneaker. If you buy it, use your sneaker. Unless you're reselling it, then do whatever you want. But if I'm collecting sneakers, I'm wearing them. I'm not gonna keep them up in the box in the corner and then have the sole just tear apart over time, and before you know it, you have a horrible shoe that has a foamy sole that ripped apart and you're like, oh no, what happened? No, I'm ripping it out of the box and I'm gonna wear it, okay? This is a sneaker that, like, I'm wearing this sneaker everywhere. They're outlandish. Now, Freddy Krueger's, I'm gonna put them up at S, but you got to hear me out with these, because I like these more than the yellow dunks too. But you got to hear me out with these, okay? First of all, I got to get the samples. Second of all, this is like in a different S tier. This is in like I love them. I like them. Nothing's gonna happen because they're just so ridiculous. Who even knows if they got them in size 13? I don't even know if they got them size 13. But they are in S tier, but they are in an S tier for the first three. Next are the diamond dunks. I think the sneaker's cool because it's obviously just the colorway and the Tiffany blue. Really like it, big fan. But for me, it's just I don't care much for it. I'm gonna put it at C. This is also a sneaker that I'd wear every day and beat them just to the ground, but I'm not that hyped about it. It's very cool, but that's about it. The Floms. Okay, so these high tops, if you don't know about them, they got a bunch of money on the midsection, the back, the front. It's very cool. It's a very cool shoe. Definitely Google the history and the backstory to them. I think they're very cool. But that being said, for this one, like this is a pair that if I would cop, but I would never pay the price that they're at. Second, I would just beat them to the ground because, as I said, I wear my shoes. I don't care how expensive the shoes are. I'm wearing the stinking shoe. But that being said, I'm gonna put them at D. Like it's cool, it's whatever, but it's just super ridiculous, and I think it's very cool. I love the brown, I love the money, but I'm never gonna have these unless someone gives them to me. But that's, speaking of, crazy money, the Parises. Do I want to put them at S or A? I'm gonna put them at S because I love the sneaker. It's loud, it's ridiculous, and it's super expensive, so obviously I'm never gonna buy them retail, but I love this sneaker. I think it is an amazing shoe, and I definitely cop it if someone gave it to me. Last are the red dunks. I'm gonna put them at A just because I love the sneaker. I love dunks that are lobster dunks. You already know I love lobster dunks. Thanks for watching this channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Go check this video right here where I show you how I make my own dunks from scratch. Even use chicken print, grandma chicken print out there on the inside. Thanks for watching and have a great day.